One man is being victimized by our own government. One man whom they fear, yet whom millions love. One man who is willing to take the poison arrows of lawfare. One man whose voice has been taken away by a corrupt judge operating in a corrupt system. One man who has been ridiculed and insulted. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who stands between us and them. One man that wants to see America protected again. One man who wants to see America prosper again. One man who understands that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. One man who understands and protects the blessing of life. One man who wants to restore American exceptionalism. One man who once again wants to make America that shining city on a hill for all to see. A place where all the people of the world glowingly set their eyes upon. America. One man who unashamedly wants to make America great again. That one man is Donald Trump.
This is Fanfare.
This morning, Republican South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham has died at 71 years old. His office writing, quote, on the evening of Saturday, July 11th, U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham passed away from a brief and sudden illness. Senator Graham's family appreciates prayers at this time and asks for privacy during this incredibly difficult period.
His cause of death remains unknown, but police reportedly responded to a cardiac arrest call at his home and were seen carrying a person away on a stretcher.
President Trump paying tribute to the longtime senator and his close ally overnight, posting this on Truth Social, quote, Senator Lindsey Graham, one of the greatest people and senators I've ever known, is dead. He was always working. He was a true American patriot. Lindsey will be greatly missed. Details and arrangements to follow.
President Trump, thank you for joining us, and my condolences to you.
Well, thank you. He's a tough one to lose. He was great. He was unique in every way, actually.
He was, Mr. President, and I know that we are all just absorbing this news. We are all in shock. Can you tell us, Mr. President, how you received this news and your immediate gut reaction when you heard it?
So what makes it even stranger is that I got a call last night sometime at, the early evening, maybe in the 7s, and he called and he said, we're all set for the Save America Act. He was pushing the Save America Act like crazy. He got back, said he just landed from Ukraine. I said, that's a long trip to make. He said, he sounded a little tired, but perfect, but a little bit tired. Had a right to be. And he was a worker. He was really a worker. But he sounded great, actually. But he actually said he was tired. But he wanted to pass the Save America Act. And I said, well, we're going to get it done, Lindsey. We're going to get it done. I'll see you soon. We thought maybe we might even meet today. And then that was it. And that was, very around the time. It couldn't have been much longer. It could have been his last call. I don't know exactly. But I got a message about 1 o'clock in the morning from one of the people at his office that he had passed away. I said, I just can't believe it. He was like a member of the family to me. It's very tough, actually. It's amazing.
Mr. President,
he was such an advocate. He was, if he wanted to get something, and he had a unique ability. He was able to deal with Democrats and Republicans. If I had a problem, a real problem, I wouldn't often ask. But if I had a problem with a Democrat, he could work it out. He was a great politician, actually. He had some fine moments. His moment on Brett Kavanaugh was one of the classics, I think, in the history of the Senate. His moment was literally one of the great classics of anyone in the Senate when he defended Brett Kavanaugh so brilliantly.
If you wanted an FBI investigation, you could have come to us. What you want to do is destroy this guy's life, hold this seat open, and hope you win in 2020. You've said that, not me. You've got nothing to apologize for. When you see Sotomayor and Kagan, tell them that Lindsey said hello, because I voted for them. I would never do to them what you've done to this guy. This is the most unethical sham since I've been in politics. And if you really wanted to know the truth, you sure as hell wouldn't have done what you've done to this guy. Are you a gang rapist?
No.
I cannot imagine what you and your family have gone through. Boy, y'all want power. God, I hope you never get it. I hope the American people can see through this sham, that you knew about it and you held it. You had no intention of protecting Dr. Ford. None. She's as much of a victim as you are. God, I hate to say it because these have been my friends. But let me tell you, when it comes to this, you're looking for a fair process. You came to the wrong town at the wrong time, my friend. Do you consider this a job interview?
The advice and consent role is like a job interview.
You consider that you've been through a job interview?
I've been through a process of advice and consent under the Constitution.
Would you say you've been through hell?
I've been through hell and then some.
This is not a job interview.
Yeah.
This is hell.
This
is going to destroy the ability of good people to come forward because of this crap. Your high school yearbook. You have interacted with professional women all your life, not one accusation. You're supposed to be Bill Cosby when you're a junior and senior in high school. And all of a sudden you got over it. It's been my understanding that if you drug women and rape them for 2 years in high school, you probably don't stop. Here's my understanding. If you lived a good life, people would recognize it, like the American Bar Association has the gold standard. His integrity is absolutely unquestioned. He is the very circumspect in his personal conduct, harbors no biases or prejudices. He's entirely ethical, is a really decent person. He is warm, friendly, unassuming. He's the nicest person. The ABA. The one thing I can tell you, you should be proud of. Ashley, you should be proud of this, that you raised a daughter who had the good character to pray for Dr. Ford. To my Republican colleagues, if you vote no, you're legitimizing the most despicable thing I have seen in my time in politics. You want this seat? I hope you never get it. I hope you're on the Supreme Court. That's exactly where you should be. And I hope that the American people will see through this charade. And I wish you well, and I intend to vote for you, and I hope everybody who's fair-minded will.
And Brett might not have made it except for that. They were treating him very unfairly. Good man. They treated him so unfairly, and Lindsey was so angry at the Senate because of it, and he had really an emotional moment. And I think that saved Brett Kavanaugh's Supreme Court, ascension. Lindsey did something that he was just so angry at the way Brett was being treated by the Democrats. It was so unfair. It was so unfair.
I want to ask you more about his legacy.
Lindsey got that over. Lindsey did a thing there that was, I think, nobody else could have done that.
Do you remember, Mr. President, what was the last thing you said to him? What was the last thing he said to you?
I said, we'll see you soon. Come over anytime you want. He came into the White House a lot because I liked him. Can't do that with everybody. But he'd come in a lot. And he was a great, like a gauge, a temperature gauge of the Senate. He was somebody that most Democrats liked. Some didn't, but most Democrats liked. And just about all of the Republicans liked Lindsey. He got along with everybody. And yet he was a tough cookie in a lot of ways, but he had honestly, he was a great politician. People don't realize what a good politician he was. He could go in and get something approved. He would just get people on his side. He was really a talented. I don't say you probably never heard me say that about anybody because there aren't too many of them. Let me tell you. Sometimes you'll meet somebody that's been there for 25 years. You say, how did they stay? They're not. This man was a great politician. He really got it.
Iran said overnight the Strait of Hormuz is closed. CENTCOM came out this morning and said the Strait of Hormuz is open. Which is it, Mr. President, and how are you going to respond?
And I don't want to talk about it because I want to honor the life of Lindsey Graham, so I don't want to talk about it. I told you that before the call.
Yeah.
It's open. We bombed the hell out of them last night. They're very, very evil and sick people. We had meetings with them for the last. They agreed to a deal yesterday, a perfect deal for us. No nuclear, no this, no that, no nothing. They gave up everything. Mm-hmm. And then after that, they left the room. And then within an hour, they launched a drone at a ship. I said, you people are sick. You're sick people. And so it's one of those things. I don't want to talk about it.
Finally, before I let you go.
I want to talk about one person today, Lindsey Graham.
Welcome back to State of the Union. The world reeling from the sudden death of Senator Lindsey Graham. Joining us now on the phone is President Trump to talk about his friend and ally. Mr. President, thank you so much for joining us. Obviously quite a shock. The senator was a close ally of yours. He referred to himself as your North Star, the Trump guy in the Senate. What are your thoughts about Lindsey Graham this morning?
Well, it's devastating. I thought he was fine. He called me last night. He just got back from Ukraine, and he had a great trip. He was telling me about the trip. He was pushing very, very hard. You probably know he wanted to do the Save America Act, that he was talking about that. He was full of vim and vigor. He was tired. He said, I'm tired because it's a long trip. But other than that, he was fine. And he called me, I guess, just moments before, because he called me like at 6:30 or something, and the medical people got there a little bit later, right after that. What a terrible loss it is. He's a great politician. He was a natural. There are very few of them. He was a natural politician. Got along with everybody. When he didn't, he was very tough. He was a tough cookie too, but he got along with everybody.
Yeah, he had some harsh words about you 10 years ago when you were running against each other.
Did. Well, he ran against me, and he was, formidable. He was tough cook. He was tough and smart, and that's why I got to know him on the campaign. I didn't know him before then, and I spoke to him maybe once in my life before then, but I got to know him. He was one of the 17 people that ran against me, and he was, a smart guy, and it was a nasty campaign. He was tough and nasty, but I was nasty too, and it worked out fine. And I got to know him by little drips and drabs, and then we became friendly, and there was no better advocate. He was a fantastic advocate in the Senate, and he could do things that other people. He was able to. If I had a really big problem with a certain Democrat, he could work it out. That's something most Republicans can't do.
As you just mentioned, he died right after returning to Washington, D.C. from a trip to Ukraine. It was his 10th trip there. He was a strong belief in interventionism, a staunch defender of Israel, staunch advocate for Zelensky. How influential was he with you when it came to foreign policy?
Well, we disagreed a little bit, but overall, I'm a big Israel person. He was certainly that. I wanted to see the war with Ukraine end very quickly. I think he was more into keeping it going. Frankly, he was very, very militant having to do with that. But I was I was, from the standpoint of 25,000 people dying every month, I didn't like that. And he was a very strong military person, so am I. But I think we used it a little bit differently. We probably had a little bit of a different attitude, but we got along on it. Essentially, we agreed. And essentially, we agreed on almost everything. Where he was really becoming strong was the Save America Act. He was really, and I think he was going to be there very, very strongly on the filibuster. He was against terminating the filibuster. And I think he was doing that because he said we have a budget coming up and we have debt ceiling coming up, and the Democrats will, they're deranged in many ways, and they're not going to be able to do it. So he was coming aboard, I think, for the filibuster, terminating the filibuster. But before we did that, he was a strong advocate for Save America, and that's what he called me about last time. I mean, I think of it. I spoke to him he had already landed. He was probably at his place. I don't know where he was, but I spoke to him, and then I got a call a few hours later saying, late in the evening, at 2 o'clock in the morning, actually. But they found out about it, I think, about 8 o'clock, about his problem. But so it had to be something very quick because he was fine. Other than being tired, he was fine.
He obviously was very supportive of the strikes against Iran. The U.S. and Iran have been engaging back and forth in strikes over the last few days and overnight. Are we back at war? And who controls the Strait of Hormuz?
Well, I don't want to, out of respect for Lindsey, I'm not talking about that. We hit him very hard last night, so I don't want to talk about it. But I will say we hit him very hard last night. We had a deal with them yesterday. They were giving up everything. And then all of a sudden, 2 hours after that, they hit a ship with a drone. And I said, these people, there's something wrong with them. But I'm talking about a man who had nothing wrong with him, and that's Lindsey Graham.
Iran has declared the Strait of Hormuz closed. Is that true, Mr. President?
It's open as far as we're concerned. Don't talk about it. Talk about the reason that you asked me to speak.
Okay. We appreciate your time, sir. Before I let you go, is there any other final word that you want the American people to know about Lindsey Graham? What was it about?
No, I think his finest moment was his defense of Brett Kavanaugh, who's a terrific guy, and was treated very, very unfairly by the Democrats, very unfair. I've never seen anything like it. Maybe the worst I've ever seen anyone treated. That includes me. Well, maybe not me, but it includes just about everybody. He was treated so unfairly, and Lindsey, as you remember, had that moment. And, I'll tell you, Jake, I think it was a top 10, maybe a top 5 moment in the history of the Senate. It was an incredible display. And he did it from the heart. He felt strongly about Brett, and he did it from the heart, and it turned that whole thing around. He was really amazing. That was one they should replay.
Well, I know you don't want to talk about any other issues out of respect for Lindsey Graham, but we would love to have you back sometime because I do have a lot of other questions for you, sir.
Sure. We'll do that. We'll do that.
Thank you for calling
We're trying to have CNN go in a normal path, and we'll do that.
Well, I'm on a normal path right here, sir, and I appreciate your time,
Good.
and thank you for calling in.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thanks so much.
Welcome, everybody. I didn't know Lindsey Graham. I wasn't a huge fan of Lindsey Graham's. I didn't think I wasn't a big fan. How about we just leave it there? I was not a big fan of Lindsey Graham going back quite some time. And so I don't have a eulogy. I'm not going to attempt to give one. Not going to make up a whole bunch of flowery stuff. The one thing I will say is this. Probably you're in the same boat as I am, is that we've gone to funerals simply because we respected somebody else who was going through something. I've gone to funerals of people, I had no idea who the person was that died, but I was there because I was showing my support for somebody else. So right now, I want you to think about that in your own lives. How many times you've gone to funerals or even gone to the hospital or bought flowers. You may not have known the person that died, but what you did know is someone who was very close to that person that died. And so you went to the funeral, you gave your respects, you made sure that person who was hurting knew you were there to support them. That's how I kind of feel about this Lindsey Graham death today. Don't know the guy, never met him, wasn't a real big fan, But the guy who I am a big fan of, the guy who I do follow, the guy who I have voted 3 times is obviously hurting. And because President Trump is hurting, I want to show my respect. Nothing more, nothing less. Speculation, not going to do it. Notice how he was talking. Notice how President Trump was talking. Both the nut Kristen Welker from MSNBC or whatever, Meet the Press, and Jake Tapper, they wanted to start talking about Iran. They wanted to start going into other stuff. And he's like, no, not today. Not going to do that today. I'm here to discuss this man and what he meant to me. And they tried to get him off of that, and he went right back to it. And so all day today, I mean, literally within minutes of hearing about his death, it started. It started in earnest. Well, he was assassinated, he was poisoned, and this, that, and the other thing. The guy hasn't even had, at that point, an autopsy. Nobody knew anything, and they immediately jumped on it. Instead of taking a step back and saying, you know what, there are some people somewhere, don't know who they are, but there are some people somewhere who hold this man in high regard. And the last thing I want to do is poop on them. I don't want to go into their time of mourning and say anything that they may see online or something, because they need to realize right now we need to just give our respects. We got a lot of time to do all kinds of speculation. We got so much time to go and see, did he eat this? Did he eat that? Who is he with? Who called the police? What did the police say? Give it a break. Give it a frickin' break. I don't know what happened to him. All I can do is let you guys know as much factual information, and you can take it there. You can go on some of these crazy people's show who tell you, I knew the guy who changed his socks, who said, it means absolutely nothing, especially today. So I can't make you not turn it off or pump the brakes in one day. All I can say is that's what I'm doing. I just wanted to show you President Trump talking to 2 people. I can't believe he went on those 2 shows. I guess Maria Bartiromo might have been too early. But the man sounds like it hurt, like it hurt him personally. And so with that, I'm just going to let you hear that, and we're going to move on. I don't have a long show for you today. It's going to be, well, it could be long, but more than likely it's designed to be much shorter. I had some computer problems. The SB's here. Right now I don't have a headset in because for some reason it didn't charge. All kinds of different problems, which is a good thing. It's Sunday. It's supposed to be a day of rest. My grandson's here still. Didn't have any practice today, so we just chilled. Just took it easy, and I just want you guys, the one thing you may want to think about today is none of us knows when our number is up. We have no idea when that chip gets called in. And so how would you like to be, thought of today? How would you like to be thought of when you're not here? And how would you like to be thought of minutes after something happens to you? Then you have to realize the people who love you, how would they feel if right after something happens and your demise is here, and they've got to read through all kinds of people saying all kinds of crap? I don't know about his personal life. We kind of have our ideas. None of my business. But the man who I voted for 3 times said, this is what I want to talk about today. I want to honor him. I'm like, all right, hands off. There was some news that did come out. I'm not a doctor, so I have no idea what this means, but I will share it with you. It says, from his office, released the preliminary cause of Graham's death. The preliminary examination findings were aortic dissection due to arteriosclerotic cardiovascular disease. The death certificate will be pending until all the toxicological and microscopic testing are finalized, and at that point, the death certificate will be updated to reflect the cause of death and appropriately classify the manner of death. And that's all we have as of 7:25 right now. aortic dissection due to arteriosclerotic cardiovascular disease. If you're a nurse, if you're in the medical field, maybe you can explain to us here in the chat what the heck that is. I don't know what it means. I don't know if it's long developing. I don't know if it was something that could just happen like that without somebody knowing it. Could somebody healthy and walking around have our aortic dissection due to arteriosclerotic cardiovascular disease? I don't know. But that's what they're telling us at this point. That's the information thus far. And I'm sure they're going to dig deeper. I'm sure there are going to be all kinds of toxicology reports. They're going to, unfortunately, this guy's going to undergo a whole bunch of things when you have some sort of death like this. But in any event, I'm just not going to engage into the sublimeness of wondering what happened yet, because we don't know. I don't know. You don't know. Do we have some ideas? No, you don't have an idea. You have maybe a supposition. You may think you know, or you may look side eye at this and go, something doesn't make sense. Something smells. Well, that's your prerogative. And in any event, as the days go on, we're going to find out more and more. People are going to track his flight coming back from Ukraine. Where did it stop? What did he eat? All kinds of things are going to come out. Then we'll have some information to substantiate our thoughts. But as of today, without that information, it is just cuckoo time. And I don't like playing in cuckoo time because it's just not beneficial. So in any regards, that's where we are. So what I'm going to be doing today, tonight, as you just heard, as I played that tribute to Lindsey Graham, there was a portion in there where he was testifying and defending Judge Kavanaugh at his SCOTUS hearing. Remember that, because I'm going to show you something in a little bit that is going to bring that back. SV tells me, hey, you got to make sure you got to pull this guy's post. And I'm like, I hope that's not the one I have lined up, but we'll figure that out as well. So let me reach for my ears here and see if I can hear SV at this point and how long they're going to work. Are you there? There you are. Hold on.
Hey, hello. Good
talk
evening.
to me
Good
so I
evening.
know I can hear
Testing
you.
1
Can
2
I hear
3.
you?
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2
Yes,
3.
I got you.
All right.
I got
We
you. All
have
right.
liftoff.
So what do you got? And don't. I hope if it's the same post, I'll let you know if it's the same post. But
Well, I have two things. One from clandestine, but did you see that Mitch McConnell's office has released a new photo? But
it's AI, isn't it?
yeah, it's AI. He doesn't have an IV. The newspaper, if you zoom in, it's like it's AI generated text. It's fake.
I
Where
knew
is
it.
this guy?
I knew it when I saw it. When I saw that. Oops, I forgot to put you in that thing. When I saw that,
Right.
I'm like, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Give me.
Supposedly he's going into rehab. I mean, I swear somebody's got to have the strings. It's weekend at McConnell's, like.
Well, the problem I'm having with it is like they're rubbing it in our face at this point. I mean, it's like you're going to put out an AI picture. You're basically lying to us, and that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Where's SB? Is SB here? Hold on, let me put you there. There you are. So now I got you. All right, yeah. So there's the picture, and they think we're stupid. They don't think we're going to check. People aren't going to look at this. I bet you what they thought was because Lindsey Graham died, they could sneak it in. They could just slide it in, and nobody was going to pay attention to it. And I mean, he looked 15 years younger there.
Yeah, I mean, the tinfoil hat theories are all over. I'm like Laura Loomer. I mean, there's so much stuff. I don't think there's any tinfoil left in any of the stores right now. I mean,
no, it's bad.
The hats are like big cones from Coneheads on SNL. I mean, it's crazy.
Let me check the clandestine one, see if it's the same one. Nope,
that
you
one
got
just came out.
All right, you got a different one. That just came
out about 10 minutes ago.
All right, so talk to me about this. I haven't seen it.
So he's been interacting with all the lunatics, and this one he had to put out, I'm sure. He goes, I think COVID broke everyone's brains. The government got caught in the biggest cover-up / crime of all time, and now the most retarded people on earth have been emboldened to claim every single thing is a conspiracy theory. Just as bad as the MSM that we were supposed to replace. Every time you S-birds make a bullcrap conspiracy theory where there isn't one, you discredit the actual conspiracies and crimes that are taking place, as well as the actual journalists who are reporting on the facts. Have some discernment and stop effing up everything else for the rest of us. Whoa.
Well, effing said, as you to use
Yes.
his words, is because that's exactly why I didn't want to engage in the insanity that was swirling around
Smart.
about Lindsey Graham. Let the people who know how to dig, let the people know who. Hey, yes, I think it was his drag queen lover that gave him a disease. They're like, yeah, you're just making stuff up. And you're making it worse for people who are really digging in. And so, yeah, people like some people like texted me, not text me, but commented like, I just have a weird feeling. Understand that's all it is. That's all it is.
It's not fact. It's
No.
a feeling. I have gas right now, but doesn't mean anything serious is happening.
TMI.
I mean, come on.
TMI. TMI right now. But we have no idea. And so, people can have their own opinion, but understand your opinion is completely baseless at this point. Let the stuff come out. And then also make sure you're following the right people to give you the right information. Not Candace. Excuse me. Did I say that? Not Candace.
No, it's Alex Jones. That guy's a clown.
They're so good and smooth with making stuff up. Oh gosh.
I mean, they're running low on money, so they need more clicks. So let's put something out immediately. I mean,
that and the lawyers' fees are going to cost a whole lot.
It's a cesspool on X right now, man. It's getting worse by the minute. It really is. I mean, I posted some fun stuff just to get off the other crap going on. That wild bison that threw that guy 8 feet in the area. I love when animals attack. I love people.
We shouldn't be laughing, but I'm telling you, when the guy when it was rolling around in the dirt, and all of a sudden it shook off and stood up. Like at that point, I'd have jumped in that pickup truck that was. You saw the pickup truck that came by slow.
He could have went behind it, right?
I'd have been like, "Hold on, I'm diving in the back of this pickup truck because that thing looks like it's not really happy." Either that, or they said it was a male bison, and it's like it's mating time. And he may have said, "You know what? It's been a while. It's
is that a transformer bison?"
I don't see any horns, so you might be.
At the end, Barry, I posted at the very end of the video, the bison goes.
Yeah.
So that's never mind. You could read my post later, but
I tell you what,
mocking the guy.
He's lucky that it didn't try to kill him. I mean, I don't know. I never lived out there in Montana or something. How much could that thing weigh? 2,000, 2,500 pounds?
And it runs faster than you do. I mean,
wow.
It's like alligators that people don't realize they can waddle up to like 20-something miles an hour. That's faster than we can go.
I hate that the guy got hurt because for a second there, I thought I was watching a Benny Hill video because he was running around. He's running around the trees.
Yes.
And the bull's like running around coming behind him. And I'm like, oh man, just keep running. Just keep running. You guys can one of you going to get tired out first. Oh my man.
I hope he's okay.
No, they said he had serious injuries.
I mean, he probably weighed 180 or so. He flung him 8 feet in the air like he was a piece of paper. It was. Crazy.
I did have one question that nobody seemed to answer. At the start of the video, there were two people taking pictures. Where'd the other person go? Just like the other person.
It could have been zoomed in. Yeah. But the thing is, you could tell there was food on that table where the bison was. So maybe they backed away and they started recording him. And then the guy who got flung in the air, it didn't look like he was more than 30 feet away. It was not within the right range. Because I posted about how far he should be away from these wild beasts. I mean, they're wild animals for a reason, but hopefully the guy's okay. We'll see.
I just have one request. If you guys ever see me someplace and a bison's coming after me, drop your phone and come to help. Like, oh wait, oh no, this is gonna get me lots of clicks. Oh yeah, oh he's about to
Money,
just tear.
baby.
He's gonna tear a new one and bury real quick here. Oh yeah, I got all that. Help, be a diversion. Throw something. And people like just hold up their film, like, yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm gonna get all kinds of clicks and likes on this.
Oh my gosh. See, we got to
So-
have a little bit of humor on days like this. I'm telling you, you got to keep laughing because laughter is medicine. It is.
All right,
medicine.
so I'm gonna go to another story, which is probably going to piss some people off.
Here we go.
So if you see like a number of people leave the chat or something, it might just be too much for them, and we'll see when I get back. Okay, I'll see you.
Take a break, folks. All right. See.
Welcome back to Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
So I consider us friends. If you've been here a few times, you know SC and I kind of jostle and have a good time. And many people who are part of the Fanfare family who have been here for watching these shows, you know, there's some times when I just feel I have to correct the record, even if it's not my record. I still feel sometimes I want to give people some factual basis for things. Especially if it's in a wheelhouse where I feel I have, for lack of a better word, experience. I've played football for so many years. I think I've got some sort of expert experience in there. And I've done real estate for so long, 30 years now. I think I've got some expert experience there. I don't have a lot of expert experience in many realms, but you know, weightlifting, powerlifting, things of that nature. And so as I was perusing X over the last couple days, I started getting perturbed. I really started wondering what the hell is going on. Are we seeing yet another concerted push to diminish President Trump? Are they really going after him to influence people like you and using their so-called clout to really hammer something home and make it seem like something when it is absolutely not true? And so as I was perusing the interwebs, I started seeing stuff like this. I don't know who this person is. It says, well, the Elizabeth Warren housing bill has passed. Section 8 incoming to the suburbs. Obama couldn't get this done, but a Republican majority House and Senate can. Why vote Republican when Warren gets everything she wants? And that guy or woman, whoever runs that account, it was referring to the housing bill, which was passed, that President Trump refused to sign. A lot of people didn't understand that first nuance. They're like, how can it become law if the president didn't sign it? Well, they had enough votes to override any veto, so for him to veto it, it wouldn't have mattered because it was like 85-5. They had all the votes they needed to get this thing across the finish line, even if he vetoed it. And there are some people out there who said by ceremoniously vetoing it, maybe people wouldn't vote to override it. We'll never know. President Trump said, I'm not signing it. But in any event, because they had such a large margin, it actually has become law. Now, I want to say something about the law itself. I am not an advocate for it. I did not like it. I did not want it. I think it is a bad law. But what people are doing now, they're taking their opinion of how they feel about this thing, and they're lying to the American public, lying to you. And one of the other problems I'm seeing with this is it's being said by people who have no effing idea what the hell they're talking about. And so I'm really going to break down this housing law so that you can understand it as best as you can, and you can go back and look at different things and understand, even though this thing is not what we want, it's not what we voted for, it's not what they are making it out to be. And so the being able to have this thing be palatable is only going to happen if you understand what it is. Then there's a part 2 to it. And the part 2 to it is, when in Rome, be like the Romans. And what I mean by that is, as sucky as this thing is, as bad as it appears, it presents tremendous opportunity for you. They did something that we don't like, yet at the same time, many of us, me included, are going to make a boatload of money off of it, which is pissing some people off as well. You're going to have to, if you want to, get yourself in a position to say, this isn't what I want. I don't want to pay high taxes either, but if I know the so-called loopholes, I understand, wow, I've got this opportunity here to avoid paying these taxes, because these Democrats and some of the Republicans put these things in place so that we get the get out of jail free card and get to keep more of our own money. Avoiding is encouraged. Evading is the one that's illegal. If you know how to avoid, you make more money. So I saw this one. This is by Steve Friend, former FBI agent who we've had on the show. And he wrote, the redistribution of taxpayer wealth to landlords and degradation of American suburbs via Section 8 is MAGA, and he was being satirical. And I wrote, why are people saying this stuff? Steve is a good guy, but someone is giving some seriously bad info to people. People need to stop pushing this nonsense. The degradation of American suburbia because of Section 8. Not true. Not true at all. It's so not true, I showed my grandson today in a ride-along where I'm going to tell you about. And then let's see who else had something idiotic to say here. It just got to me over the weekend, so it's troubling that so many people on the right are spreading BS propaganda about the new housing bill. While it may suck, the Section 8 stuff that they are spreading is total BS. So the question I'm asking right now is, why is there such a massive campaign underway to gaslight people? As you're going on X and looking around, that's a question after this show, you will be able to say to yourself, why are you lying to me? Why are you saying this stuff when you know it's a lie? And if you don't know it's a lie, then you're just ignorant. Why are you spreading stuff that you have no idea what the hell you're talking about? And it's everywhere. I'm sure you guys have seen it by now. I wrote something here that said, maybe, just maybe, people with no experience in real estate should S to F you about the housing bill and the fear-mongering about Section 8. Maybe, just maybe, they should do some actual due diligence and learn about an amazing opportunity that's being afforded to make bank. And I didn't realize that was going to be offensive to some people. I had a gentleman or a woman, I can't tell by the handle, but the person said this: when you say make bank, at whose expense? What is the initial revenue source from which the make bank funds are sourced? Just trying to do, quote, due diligence. Surely you have the answer. And I asked him, what do you mean at whose expense? There's always buyers and sellers. To which this person said, when Section 8 is involved, it bears on the value of the property being offered. That one sentence told me this person had no friggin' idea what they were talking about. Zero. Section 8 is government funded, and a portion of those funds is paid out to the named deed holder. Wrong. How many Section 8 rentals have you owned? And this is a question I ask people, and it always causes, it's like my discombobulator. When people say things like, well, okay, how many have you owned, or how many do you own right now? Tell me. At which she says, Emma, the topic is not a matter of what I own. The topic is about those persons, quote, making bank by receipt of redistribution of public funds as benefits to the owner-operators of Section 8 qualified properties. Your the F up suggestion and experience in real estate comment is highly offensive to the people who fund a bank account which you expect to make bank. Through participation in privileged benefits program known as Section 8, which is not a real estate matter at all. Imagine my surprise. Imagine my surprise that it's not a real estate matter at all. It is a benefits program which does not involve buyers and sellers, as you wrongly suggest. Okay. My grandson and I went out today and I looked at duplexes, triplexes, quads, vacant land, and most assuredly, a buyer and a seller are involved in that transaction. You cannot have that property offered up into any program unless both sides agree. If that person wants to sell it and I want to buy it, we got to have that agreement and that transaction first. So when this guy says it doesn't involve buyers and sellers, this is the type of thing where you look at people's side eye and go, what in the F are you talking about? You make no sense. And I don't understand what they and he kept going. He kept going here. He goes, don't thank me. I have never contributed to any fund stream which feeds Section 8 redistribution of transactions money. Want to bet? Unless you're in London or Spain, if you're an American, you most assuredly have contributed these funds. And he got mad because my answer to him was, oh, I don't know, thanks for your deposit. Feel better? Doesn't bother me. Shouldn't bother you. You should look at, we'll get to that. First and foremost, though, we should probably just talk about where we are with this program and the overall idea as to what is happening. Let me just show you this real quick here, because I have like a whole line of things here. I had to put up a article, and it's on my X profile. You can look at it. And there is a whole list of people with blue checks. Ann Coulter, the 21st Century Road to Housing, expands Section 8 housing, a government program to move violent, gun-happy, drug-dealing welfare recipients from inner-city public housing units into previously safe neighborhoods. Just look at that. That's complete bullcrap. Complete bullcrap. Inner city, more violent, gun-happy, drug-dealing welfare recipients. Are you serious? Come on. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time telling you what the actual law says. But before I say anything, I do want to tell you one thing, one codicil before we even begin. The Section 8 program has been around for decades. Nothing has changed. You might think, well, Barry, they just did a bit. Nothing has changed. There is no mandate to put Section 8 in a certain neighborhood. It doesn't exist. People just started saying that. I got the proof. I'm going to show you. But they never even bothered to look. They just made it up. For what reason? That's what we need to find out. Why are people lying to MAGA? So I went to Grok, and not that Grok is the end-all, be-all of anything. I just went to Grok because it's a way to give you some information and further what's going on. And so, which button am I pushing? Yeah, that one. This is what Steve Friend said. Steve Friend said the redistribution of taxpayer wealth to landlords and degradation of American suburbia via Section 8 is MAGA. And it tells you who he is, what he says. And very simply, all I typed in was 3 words. Is he correct? And straight up, nope. The bill modernizes existing federal housing programs, including Section 8 voucher rules, like streamlined inspections, and includes supply-side measures such as zoning incentives, reduced regulatory barriers, limits on large institutional investors buying single-family homes. You have to be under 350 assets. No more can you have like thousands of properties. You got to have below 350. And efforts to boost overall housing production. It is not primarily a new redistribution to landlords vehicle. It's not new. Many provisions aim at increasing supply to lower costs long term rather than expending subsidies. They're not putting any more money into the program. They're lying straight up. And in addition, in terms of understanding zoning and things of that nature, I live in what would be considered a suburban area. It's a gated community. You couldn't put a Section 8 tenant in here. Let me tell you why. Because there's a ceiling as to how much somebody can pay if they're on Section 8. And so you know where you live, you can look up how much somebody can get. Did you know that you can put a Section 8 tenant in any place? You don't need approval. I could put a Section 8 tenant next door to you if I bought it. You'd never know. And that's not new. It's always been this way. If the numbers make sense, if somebody is going to get a voucher for $2,000 a month, and I can find a nice house if the people are decent, and I could put them in that house and they're going to pay $2,000 a month, it doesn't have to be in the hood. This law has already been on the books. There's nothing new. It's almost like people just heard the word Section 8 for the first time and, oh my gosh, Section 8. And that's just one part of the bill. One part of the bill that I don't like either, but I'm going to use it for my benefit. It says, down here, it says, critics like Friend are right that Section 8 vouchers involves taxpayers' subsidies paid directly to private landlords for low-income tenants, and expanded use can change neighborhood composition in suburbs if the vouchers are used there. The owner of the property has to determine, I am going to accept a voucher, not the county. You own the property. If you own a piece of property and you want to rent it out, you are going to decide whether or not that person can live there, if depending on what the voucher is worth. Not the county, not the city. This isn't public housing. This isn't a project. It's your rental property. These people don't seem to understand that, or don't care and just want to lie to you. So let me continue with this. Down here on the bottom, it says, but the homeowner, because after it said all that, I asked a question because I already knew the answer to it. says, but the homeowner has to offer it to a Section 8 voucher holder. Is there anything in the new housing bill that requires a homeowner, the property owner, to offer a rental to a Section 8 voucher holder? Is there anything in this new law that says, hey, if you rent it, you got to offer it? No. The 21st Century Road to Housing does not require individual homeowners or landlords to offer rentals to Section 8 voucher holders. Bingo. What's the problem? What are people so freaked out about? Are you freaked out that your tax dollars are going to Section 8? That hasn't changed. It's been that way for years. It was that way when Trump was president the first time. Section 8 money has been taken out of our tax dollars for a long time, and it did not just increase. Then there is no mandate. There is no way for people to your next door neighbor to have a project. That's not how it's working. So why are people so completely nuts about this thing? I'm just here just like calm you down. Hey, it's going to be okay. Where's my other thing here that I brought up? I hope everybody understands. Let me look at the chat and see if you guys got some questions here. You can also legally decline a Section 8 voucher. If somebody shows up to your house and says, hey, I'd like to rent your property, and you're like, okay, it's going to be $3,000 a month, and they're like, we got this voucher. No, thank you. I do not have to take it. There is no mandate that says I have to take that voucher. So ergo, your next door neighbor, as long as they don't do it, there's no problem. I just want, you are correct. You are correct there. Yep, it's not new. It's not new at all. Nothing has changed. What else we got here? With rental properties, you have control over the investment. The cash flow is lucrative. The equity buildup is outstanding. Remember what Terry just said there. The cash flow and the equity are things that you can profit from. I guess people don't know that. I don't know why they're afraid. I don't know what their concern is. I don't know why they're taking it upon themselves to lie to you. And so Carlos says, don't give a damn about Section 8 or anyone making money off of it. That's okay. It's not for everybody. Let's see. My mom got our house in the late 1970s under Section 8. It paid half of the monthly mortgage amount. My mom was a single parent at the time. That's the kind of people it's designed for. And I don't know why it pisses people off. And so let me just keep going so I can get through this and talk to you guys about what exactly this new law does. Where we get here. One second. Okay, here we go. This is the new law. Can we talk about the new law? Explain. And I put this prompt in because I don't want to have to worry about trying to downgrade what I'm going to say. But this is the new law. This is it. I said, explain the new housing bill in a point-by-point basis, who it benefits and why. Include any new impact on the Section 8 program. Provide your info for someone who has an 8th grade reading comprehension level. So that probably encompasses everybody here. The housing bill called the blah, blah, blah. Okay, so what is it? Here's a simple point-by-point explanation. It makes it easier and faster to build more homes. Can we stop there? Can we stop right there? Number one, because number one has nothing to do with Section 8 where everybody was screaming at. It makes it easier and faster to build more homes. It cuts red tape, like speeding up environmental reviews. It gives money and rewards to cities and towns that change their local rules to allow more homes, like duplexes, quads, tris, 8s. It helps turn empty stores or offices into homes. It makes it simpler to build factory-made homes, manufactured homes, by removing old rules, like needing a permanent metal frame underneath them. This can make houses cheaper. Who benefits and why? This is who benefits: builders, developers, And new home buyers or renters benefit because more homes being built should slowly lower the prices and give people more choices. Families who want affordable places to live win in the long run. So number one was just about being able to build more homes. So when I took my grandson out today and we looked at the opportunity zone, and he's like, "What are you looking at?" I'm like, "Dirt." "What do you mean?" "I'm looking at all this dirt." See, if you understand what an opportunity zone is, then you understand that this bill is tailor-made for developing inside an opportunity zone. There's a piece of dirt here, and now I can build here without all the other regulatory stuff. This is now something I want to look at buying because I know I can get an expedited environmental study. I can see what kind of lax rules they're going to have in terms of allowing us to build and get the permit. The faster I can build it, the faster I can do what? The faster I can put a Section 8 tenant in that building. And if I have 4 units and each unit is, I don't know, $1,500 a month, then I'm going to get $6,000 a month revenue from this building that I put on this empty dirt in the hood. Has nothing to do where I live, but it's going to be hella lucrative. Let's continue. It helps banks and local groups invest in affordable housing. It lets banks put more money into affordable housing projects, raise the limit from 15% to 20% of their investment. It allows some government funds to pay for building new affordable homes, not just fixing old ones. Who benefits? Low-income families and who else? Developers of cheap rental homes. More money flowing in means more affordable apartments get built, and developers of cheap rental homes benefit. So anyway, so far you've only read two of the things, the spokes in this wheel. In these 2 spokes, you got a problem? Probably not. So why are these people lying? They're counting on you not knowing the truth, and I don't understand why. So let's continue. Number 3. It limits big companies buying single-family homes. Big investors are companies that own 350 or more homes face new rules on buying regular houses for rent. There are exceptions to the new build-to-rent neighborhoods. All right, so 2 things there. 1, you're going to have less competition. Sounds great to people like me. Sounds fantastic. I don't have to worry about, going up against BlackRock. BlackRock's tapped out in this neighborhood. I can get in here and do something. Fantastic. And I get better cost of money. Fantastic. And I'm going to get a tenant. Fantastic. Win, win, win. Use their rules. Use what they're putting out there, even though we don't like it. Use this to profit. What do we got here? Who benefits? Regular families who want to buy a starter home. The goal is to keep more houses available for people instead of big corporations. Number 4, small fixes to help homeowners in repairs. Pilot programs for home repairs, financial aid advice, counseling, small mortgage help for cheaper homes, grants to fix up old house. Who benefits? Current homeowners, which could be you. Lower income ones, first-time home buyers who get better advice and repair money. And now we're down here to the Section 8 program, way down at the bottom. What's the impact on the Section 8 program? Section 8 helps, as you know, low-income families, elderly people, veterans, disabled people pay rent by giving vouchers. The government pays part of the rent to the landlord. Key change in the bill. This is the change that nobody's talking about. It makes Section 8 easier for landlords to join. Did you see that? Did you read what the benefit is? Wait, what's the big change? It makes it easier for people who own rental property. First and foremost, that's the number 1 benefit. It says it there, right there. Who benefits and why? Landlords benefit because it's less hassle and less risk of losing money on empty apartments. More landlords will accept Section 8 tenants. In the paragraph above, it talks about it. The government pays part of the rent to the landlord. If a rental unit passes a recent inspection for another government program, they can skip the full new Section 8 inspection. This stops long waits where landlords have to keep units empty. And this entire thing is basically about how it benefits the landlord. I just showed you a whole bunch of tweets by people, some big name people. They make it sound like you're about to be invaded in your neighborhood, and it's not true. So you have to step back and go, why are these people lying to us? Don't know. I have no idea what the hell they're doing here. It says here, low-income families with vouchers benefit because it's easier to find a place to rent because there's more inventory. Before, many landlords said no because of the inspection delay. So if you've never rented a Section 8 as a landlord, what happens is when you say, listen, I'm going to offer this to a Section 8 tenant, they come out and do an inspection. It's very basic. You got smoke detectors. Do the windows go up and down? Does everything work when you turn it on? Is it safe? Do all the what do you call it? Electrical outlets have covers? Is nothing, wires exposed or anything like that? Does the floor even? And there's no buckling or anything that's a safety hazard? They will tell you got to fix. That's it. That's passing inspection earlier. I'm sorry, they didn't mention that. And here is the big one. I want you guys all to read this so you can tell these people to go screw off. The new bill does not add huge new money for Section 8, but it tries to make the existing program work better. So you're not going to take more money from us and put it into the program. No, not going to do that. So what are they talking about? I'm not making it up here. Okay, overall, who wins the most? Who are the big winners here? Low and middle income families, more homes being built, and easier Section 8 use should help over time. Builders and local governments that want to grow, they get the tools, the grants, and rewards. And, quote, renters using vouchers, better chances to find housing. See anything in there about going into your neighborhood? See anything at all about wanting to put slumlords where you live? No, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist at all. And I don't know why they went there and started saying the different things that they did, but it was just meant to cause you guys a lot of consternation. Now you know exactly the truth here. Let me show you something else. I always look at things and go, okay, I don't like what happened, but what's our opportunity? I called the lawyer. Hey, JJ, yeah. All right, so we can't do this anymore. They want us to do this. They're going to open this up. Where is our opportunity? And he goes, the same thing you've been doing, but now you got to get back into, instead of doing flips, do some buy and holds. And I put this out. Me making appointments to see some land and multifamily units after the new housing bill passed. If you know, you know. And it's a gift with the guy holding money. And somebody said to me, sorry, but I call this bragging. If you ever get to the point where you're taking action, if you're taking an initiative, if you're looking to do something better for you and your family, and somebody tells you it's bragging just because you're trying, I didn't say anywhere in that post that I made this much money or that much money. I said, here's me making appointments to go talk to people about doing something, about taking initiative to understand that this bill, which we don't like, is going to allow those who understand it and dig in the ability to prosper. And there's such an anger about people even trying to prosper that you get this kind of stuff. And so I could go literally on with this for an hour, but I'm not. I just wanted to impart upon you two things. One, they're lying to you. There is no such thing as what they're saying, and I don't know why they're saying it, and so be very careful who you listen to. Number two, when you skate to the puck, sometimes somebody else shoots the puck, and you're the one chasing the puck that somebody else shot, and it doesn't mean that you're not allowed to score. Doesn't mean that you're precluded from playing. You, like SV and I both know, when we go down to play poker, you play the cards that are dealt or not. You toss the cards in, but it's your choice. You get a pair of twos, some people will go and play with a pair of twos. Some people will throw it in. You get a new housing bill that you don't like, some people are going to bitch on X and complain about it, while other people are going to sit back and go, I'm playing his hand. I'm going to go with this because I understand what it can mean for me and my family. And so the moral of the story here in closing about it is understand things are not necessarily as they look all the time. Sometimes you have to peel back things and look and say, what's in it for me? Which isn't a bad thing. I wish every single one of you prosperity. I hope every single one of you can attain your dreams, whatever those dreams are. But sometimes the dreams are found at the bottom of a pile of crap. And it's up to you to sift through it. It's up to you to understand the government, which you pay into, is telling you, we will pay you if you do this. When do you have that opportunity? Other than maybe Social Security and they give you a small pittance, when does your government ever call you up and say, hey, Fred, yeah, we'll give you a whole bunch of money if you do this? Gonna hang up? Or are you gonna do something about it? That's the difference with the people on X who are basically panning for likes and comments and engagement versus people like me and JJ and some of the other guys I work with who say, all right, this is the cards we've been dealt. What do we do about it? What neighborhoods do we go? Where can we swim to find out, how we're going to make this work? That puck just moved. It went flying down the ice. We didn't even shoot it. But I'm not just going to stand in the bleachers and watch it roll down the ice. And so with everything that's happened today, with Lindsey Graham dying and all this talk going on, and all the stuff that happened with Charlie Kirk and all the talk that went on, and then now people are talking all kinds of insanity about this new housing rule. No, we didn't like it. We don't want it. Trump didn't want it. But you go to sleep, you wake up tomorrow, it's here. It's your choice. You have to decide what you're going to do with it, just like everything else in your life. And I'm hoping that there are a few people, maybe just a few people in here who understand, cha-ching, this is what I'm supposed to be looking at. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. I think the positive spin would be to consider it getting your tax dollars back, or if they've been stealing it for us for decades. Yes, look at it that way. And I could go on and show you like the different levels in terms of how much you're going to get if you put this person in a property. You can go look at there's all kinds of charts. You know it before you even go in. I've done classes on it. I've shown you guys, hey, listen, I'm going to buy a house in this neighborhood, in this zip code. How much are you willing to pay me? Oh, we'll give you $3,500 for a 3-1. Woo-hoo. Wow, I don't even pay $3,500 for my own house, some people would say. And the government's going to give that to you like clockwork, right into your bank account, direct deposit. Some people are sitting home getting $1,200 a month in Social Security, and the government's willing to give you $3,500 a month just to let people live there. It sucks, but they're going to give it to somebody. So he says, oh yeah, easy money. Yeah. What else we got here? Kristen, curb your fake concern. America's a good place to stop. Look at right. People complaining about prosperity. I don't get it. People every time we talk about how you can prosper, people get mad, absolutely get pissed off. And through it all, I just hope you like push that aside. Maybe some of you will email me and say, show me that chart. Where do I find out where I can tell in advance how much a Section 8 tenant is going to pay? Because now, I'll keep saying it, the puck has moved. We didn't do it, but we definitely can profit from it. And I'd love to see as many of you as possible who get in a position and say, they're going to give me money to fix it up. They're going to give me a mortgage. And they're going to pay for my tenant. Maybe we need to look into this, Susie. Maybe we've got something we can do with our retirement. Maybe we can buy this $300,000 duplex and get a 6% mortgage with, like, I don't know, $5,000 down. And we put somebody in there. They're going to cover our mortgage. We get the appreciation. Oh, that's right. In Florida, they're getting ready to do away with property taxes. Oh, now you put this whole picture together. You're like, wait a second. This is what we're supposed to do. And we put money in our child's Trump account. And it's all just one big investment that you didn't have available to you yesterday. Didn't know anything about it. Somebody goes, how can people hate prosperity? I think the answer to that is jealousy. I really do. At that point, people think they're precluded, that it's not there for them, and it's not fair. And then, of course, then once that happens, you feel jealousy. Let's see. I only made it to the 9th grade. I only made it to the 9th grade and now own 14 rentals. Many can do it if they're willing to do the hard work. Terry, I'm done. That's it. Y'all can just go ahead and ask Terry. Terry, what do you mean? You had a 9th grade education and now you own 14 rental properties? Damn. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Terry's cashing out big time. Absolutely big time. Hold on. Look at this comment here. This is somebody who doesn't understand. The market can either crash or go south. What if you don't give a shit? Because I don't care if the market goes south. Let that sink in. Maybe I should ask you right now, why does Barry not care if the market goes south? Let that sink in. What this gentleman says, market can either go crash or go south. Why would I not care? There's a couple reasons why I don't care. One, the deposits coming from the United States government every month, no matter what the market does. As long as that family is sitting in my property, I'm getting paid. I don't care if the market goes up or down. Number two, if the market goes up, I make more appreciation. Number three, if the market goes down, I have more opportunity to buy from people who didn't plan for the fall, and I can put another tenant in there. When you stop looking at the surface of the water and understand the fish are actually deeper, it makes all the difference in the world. Let's see here, whatever. Because you're positioned. Well, you got to get positioned at some point. And you're right, position meaning if just imagine you have a duplex, a couple miles away from where you live, in a decent neighborhood, and you got the government paying you $2,000 a month every single month. Do you care if the market goes down? No, you're still getting money. You're still getting paid every month. There's a lot of wet blankets around here. Yeah, I know. Every time we talking about this, it gets this way. Property rental has nothing to do with market on getting your money. Nope, you're going to get paid either way. Either way. So I just wanted to bring that to you. I don't want to dwell on it because I know a lot of people get pissed off. For some reason, I still can't figure it out. It's news. It was the biggest news last week. And now people don't want to know what the impact of the news is. Think about that. Hey, we're going to pass this bill. President Trump's not going to sign it. Oh my God, it sucks. And they're going to put Section 8 people and all. They used it as if it was news. Where is it? Here, look. There it is. Everybody there. Hey, it sucks. Trump and the Republicans are forcing Section 8 housing to every community in America. Ann Coulter, oh, it's going to be violent, gun-happy, drug-dealing welfare recipients. Dr. Sidney Wasson, this is going to be a disaster. Enjoy all the Section 8 housing in your neighborhoods. Enjoy developers destroying more land, building more crap. America doesn't have a housing crisis. It needs mass deportations and to nuke immigration. What the hell are you talking about? I got no patience for these people. I only wanted to share it with you so now you know what this law is. You know exactly the different parameters of it. You can go look it up. There is no mandate. There is no additional redistribution or impact in terms of more taxes. It doesn't exist. They put a monster under your bed for their own personal clickbait. That's why they did it. I'm going to move on here. What you got, man?
Man, I tell you what, if I were a doctor, I wouldn't have any patience right now. Rumble, man. I mean, you got people saying it. Section 8, it hurts seniors. Section 8 in my neighborhood, it's ruining my neighborhood.
Here's what's really funny. People have an opportunity that they don't really understand. Meaning, I'm not saying this. I've actually done it. And I look in the comments and I look for it and I think to myself, do you realize you could ask questions? You can say, where do I go for this? Where do I go for that? But still, it's like, nah, it sucks. Everything sucks. Like, oh, I guess the guy, SV, this guy who got mad at me, where is it? Because I posted this. Oh, wait a minute. that was considered bragging. I'm like, how the hell am I bragging?
That looks like one of the times I came home from poker. Dang, man.
With my money.
Well, you almost got those steak knives for free. Oh my goodness. All right, I have a couple news items. If you want to switch to that, take a little break here. Have you done one of your commercials yet? Did we miss one?
No, I'm not doing it tonight because I was going to make this a short video, but we're already at 90 minutes. I was like, I'm going to run real quick there, and here we are, 90 minutes later.
I was trying to keep you on track. All right, so I'm putting a little thing below each one so it gives you a little heads up. So the first one was from Eric Doherty about Marco getting tough on Antifa. It's a 38-second video. Can you download that?
Yeah, let me go ahead and pull it down. Oh, it has. Okay, one thing. Yeah, the Democrats don't like this either. They don't like the fact that he's going after Antifa at all.
Can you show this without getting demonetized?
Yeah, this is good. Hold on.
Okay.
I may have to mess with the sound, but here we go.
To stress here, these designations and our focus is based off of groups who are engaged in violent terrorist activity, such as kidnapping, targeting U.S. law enforcement, targeting the civilian population. And when we started talking about this ministerial, we actually had so many countries raising this as a problem that they started proactively reaching out to us to be involved in this ministerial. That Washington Post article you just showed on the screen, for example, suggested that other countries don't want to work with us on this. Nothing could be further from the truth. This has been a gap in our counterterrorism strategy for decades, and this administration is determined to address that gap and protect the American people.
And Tommy.
Oh, SB, by the way, if you guys can see on the screen, SB, can you check if this came out tonight? Because if this was tonight, you can see in the lower right, President Trump is going to be live at 8 a.m. tomorrow. So I'm not sure where that video came from. If it was today, but if it was something they dropped today, means President Trump will be live tomorrow at 8 a.m. So that'd be interesting.
My next story shows his schedule, but I don't know about the 8 o'clock. Let me see. While you bring that up. So the story right above that.
With Mike Johnson?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What's this?
I'm currently grokking. So while that's coming up, President Trump is meeting with Speaker Johnson tomorrow in the Oval Office. Both the House and Senate are back in session tomorrow. We now have just a couple weeks to pass the Save America Act, or it cannot become law for the midterms. Maximum pressure. Trump's day begins at 8 a.m., followed by Freedom 250 Grand Prix at 1:30. The meeting at 3 p.m. and executive order signing at 4:30. We'll be busy tomorrow.
So that race is tomorrow at one. Wait a minute, the race is at 1:30. They're going to show the. Oh wow, yeah, that'll be
That's gonna be fire.
Yeah.
I know,
right? Freedom 250.
I just Grok says there is no scheduled live or public event at 8 a.m. as of now.
Yeah, it doesn't. His schedule doesn't usually come out till about 10 p.m. and then it gets
the WhiteHouse.gov
uploaded.
/live. Yeah, I look at that from time to time too. So, but right now there is nothing. But it says 8 a.m. So I'm expecting something to pop up.
So basically, all day. If that schedule holds, it's 8 a.m. and then 1:30 and then 3 p.m. Oh my gosh, that's back to back to back. That's absolutely crazy. All right, so we'll look into that.
Busy day tomorrow.
Yeah. And I got to figure out how I can do it so I can get the boy to his training and everything. You
can let me take the helm. I could run it.
If you could log in, I would definitely do that. Are you caught up?
Yeah, that's all I have for right now. Yes. Oh, actually, real quick one that you don't have to show. The House is voting in the coming days to abolish the seasonal time change. Thank goodness. Making daylight saving time permanent. We need to get rid of that. All these different times.
You know, it's funny. Robin and I were talking out back one day, and she's like, I was like, Robin, when we lived in Connecticut, it made a difference because like it would get dark so early in the wintertime. But the further south you go, it's like, nah. We're like, yeah.
It doesn't matter, right? It's still warm, still hot, warm,
yeah,
sunny.
And the sun's out. Sun's out early. It just comes right up over the beach. So it's like we don't get any respite from that. Our entire house, we have to have blackout curtains. I mean, because otherwise it'd be like getting a suntan in bed. It's crazy how bright.
Can you imagine people like in Alaska when they only have like a couple minutes of? I mean, I couldn't deal with that.
Ashley went on vacation. She went on vacation a couple of months ago to Iceland, and she said it was like that. And when you go into the hotel room, you got to lower all the curtains and everything so you can go to sleep. Like, wow, that's pretty crazy.
Sunshine. All right, I know you've got to move ahead.
All right.
Yes, that's all I have.
I'll be back.
Back to Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
Well, New York City Mayor's office is under fire after Zoran Mamdani's International Affairs Commissioner reportedly made plans to meet with Iran's UN ambassador earlier this week.
Think about that. Mamdani, who's been the mayor of New York for a couple months, has decided it is upon him to go talk to a combatant right now. While hardworking New Yorkers are fighting crime, paying these insane rents for his stuff, and watching their city crumble day after day, Mamdani's International Affairs Commissioner thought it was fine to schedule a secret meeting with the Iranian United Nations ambassador. Let that sink in. We are in some sort of conflict, if you don't want to call it war. We're in some sort of conflict with Iran, and the mayor of a city decides they're going to go ahead and meet with our enemy. Not a big leap here. They're going to meet with the same regime that funds terrorism, screams death to America, has threatened to assassinate President Trump. And these city bureaucrats who have no authority, none whatsoever, to conduct foreign policy, they have no business even sitting down with a hostile regime, and they were going to go meet with them. If it weren't for the U.S. State Department stepping in, they would have sat down and met with Iranian officials while we are engaged with them. The State Department had to call Mamdani's team in for a disciplinary talk. That disciplinary talk should have ended up in handcuffs.
Timing could not have been worse. And the New York Post reporting this, the scheduled meeting would have unfolded after Iranian troops fired missiles at 2 commercial ships traversing the Strait of Hormuz, an action Monday in direct defiance of an interim peace agreement between the U.S. and Iran. Mayor Mamdani was asked about this at a news conference today. Watch.
That meeting did not take place. It will not take place. And I did not know about it until
It's your job to know about it. You know, the whole buck stops here. That's not going to work. I didn't know anything about it. So you've got people in your regime that are doing things against America that you don't even know anything about. That's what you're trying to tell the American people? That's the excuse? When you filled your office with all these radical ideologues, with all these Democrat socialists, whatever that means, who think that New York is their personal playground, this is what happens. And Mamdani now, he got caught. He got caught, and now he's got to rein in these people. And I think he owes America and definitely owes New York an apology. He was elected to fix the city, not play Secretary of State. Nobody is telling you how badly the rules have been broken. Foreign policy has and must stay in Washington. Everyone is talking about the canceled meeting, but almost nobody is talking about how close it came to actually happening.
There's a press inquiry regarding it. And when it comes to the work of our commissioner and our International Affairs Office, it's to ensure that as we are a city of the world, that we are also there to meet with leaders from across the world. The focus is always on our city and our relationship.
Notice he didn't say America. You can be a, quote, city of the world, whatever the hell that means. But they got the State Department, just so you know, has everything. They have the calendar invites. They have it all. They know what this commissioner, I believe her name was Anna Maria. That was her name, or that is her name, actually. Anna Maria. Anna Maria Achila. She set it up with the Iranian ambassadors. Do these people not know everything is being surveilled? You don't think that we are engaged with an enemy, that every communication these people make, they could fart and we'll know how much it smells? And they had the audacity to go ahead and contact these people at the United Nations and say, hey, let's go ahead and hook up. Just 3 days after Iran fired on commercial ships. This is insane. And he's not explaining anything. This changes everything. Every city commissioner in America now may think they can do the same thing. Hey, screw Trump, screw Rubio, let's cut our own deals with Russia or Ukraine or Iran. Every enemy government now sees a back door. Every ally is watching and wondering what's going on in Mamdani's office. He's telling everybody he didn't know until the press actually asked him. His own commissioner, he's telling us, didn't even tell him. She scheduled it. No, they got caught. They got caught red-handed, and they got ordered to cancel only because the State Department found out on its own.
The Commissioner recognizes that this was made an error, and we're working on a new process in terms of new meeting requests.
You don't have a process. That's just it. We're going to work on a new process. No. You go ahead and handle New York City and all of the international stuff, especially with people we're fighting with. You're going to have to go through Marco Rubio. You do not have that autonomy. Man, this is absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. While they're trying to assassinate President Trump, while they're attacking ships, you got some radical loon here trying to go backdoor and talk to Iran. Can anybody say Logan Act?
A new process? What about competence? Well, this comes as the Wall Street Journal reports Israel warned the U.S. that Iran hatched a new plan to assassinate President Trump. Iran has repeatedly vowed to retaliate against our president for ordering the killing of Iran's Revolutionary Guard General Qasem Soleimani. President Trump reiterated that this week.
They've been in trouble for 47 years, and we took out their first set of leaders. We took out their second set of leaders. They want to take out the U.S. leader, me. I'm on every list. I saw things this morning. I'm on every single one of their lists. And so far, I guess I've been a little bit lucky, but that maybe doesn't last very long.
Now, remember last week when we watched that, we all watched it together, we're like, why is President Trump saying this? Why is he saying, hey, listen, they're going to try and kill me. I'm on the top of their list. I know I'm the big prize. Hey, let me go ahead and change airplanes. Let me do all this stuff. Because they probably already knew the back channel stuff was happening. I bet he knew at that point that they understood that the Mamdani team was trying to meet with the Iranians. And so they stepped up the threat. Hey, they're trying to kill me. They're trying to assassinate the President of the United States. They are definitely enemies. What happens when you start coordinating with enemies of America? Did Mamdani just walk head on into a trap? You got to be asking yourself right now, because every one of us, when President Trump said that, like, why would he be saying that? Because he was letting everybody know, hey, I'm the big target. They want to kill me. I'm an American president. Maybe you might not want to be knocking on doors with Iran. See, America deserves better. We want America to be put first. Mamdani barely mentions it. And as you said, I said earlier, mayors do not have any foreign policy in their toolbox. They can't do it. So now we need to hold these people accountable every single frickin' day.
The president told the Post today, quote, I've left instructions, if anything happens, to just literally bomb them at levels that they've never seen before.
A planned, now squelched meeting between a senior official for New York City's mayor, Zoran Mamdani, and Iran's ambassador to the United Nations. The State Department now says it stepped in to cancel that meeting. CB Cotton is live in New York City with more. CB.
Hey, John. So after the State Department reportedly stepped in to clarify acceptable conduct, we're told that it was Mayor Mamdani who ultimately called off the meeting between his commissioner for international affairs, Ana Maria Archila, and Iran.
Oops. Trap set. A couple of people wrote some things about this who are much more eloquent than me, and I want to bring your attention to that. One of them is a man named Tony Saruga. He goes, Mamdani isn't a bug. He's the feature. He's the gift that keeps on giving, the political arsonist who just handed Trump the matches and a signed confession. While the country is at war, this man is out here cosplaying as a statesman by openly caucusing with the enemy. Beautiful. He's not merely useful, he's legendary. The man single-handedly building the legal runway for Trump to designate large swaths of the Democrat apparatus as unlawful enemy combatants. Whoa. they walked headfirst into it. When they all start crying and they all been saying everything about Trump's not going to allow the midterms, they're doing it to themselves. They're the ones who are going to cause, if it's going to happen, there to be no midterms. You're out there nuzzling up with the enemy. What do you expect President Trump to do? It says, think about it. Democrats didn't just fumble national security. They spiked the ball for the other team, flooding the zone with Iran-friendly propaganda, platforming every anti-American narrative their media auxiliaries could churn out, then flinging the southern border wide open like it was happy hour at an insurgent recruitment center. Sanctuary cities, more like forward operating bases with better brunch options. They didn't break the law. They repealed it and then invited the world's worst guest to squat in the ruins. Now, when you hear this and this stuff is starting to come, I got a video I'm going to show you, and you're going to go, oh my gosh. The coincidence of the video I'm going to show you is going to make your head spin. It is literally going to make you go, wait, we're going to get to it. It says, most Americans still have no idea how far gone things are. This isn't politics anymore. This is a zero-sum knife fight between the American people and a coalition of communist cosplayers, globalist grifters, and imported muscle who genuinely believe the United States is the final boss standing between them and their utopia. Remember, most of these people have gone on video and they've gone out there and said, we want to overturn America. And I got to believe that Marco Rubio and Pete Hegseth and President Trump have got a catalog of these people going, oh my God, are they really this stupid? Are they really this idiotic that you would be putting all this on videotape for everybody in the world to see and then having no bones about it? And then you're electing these people and you're putting them in our government. So when the women, the two women from Brooklyn or whatever, they got in, hey, I wiped my butt with the flag. Cool. Glad we know. Every day we shook our heads like, how could this be happening? Maybe, just maybe, the trap has been set and they walked right into it. Continue. And if you think Donald Trump lacks the stones for what comes next, you haven't been paying attention. The stage has been set with surgical patience. The military understands the assignment. The constitutional authorities are dusted off and loaded. Trump has been telling us for years that he'll use every lever of commander-in-chief power available, and Mamdani and his friends didn't just cross the Rubicon. They built a 5-lane highway, installed toll booths, and started directing traffic while wearing enemy flags as capes. Thank you for your service, gentlemen. Couldn't have done it without you. Wow.
UN Ambassador Amir Saeed Iravani. Archila was reportedly reprimanded for the move, but the fact that the meeting was even considered continues to raise eyebrows, including from U.S. Ambassador Mike Waltz, who reacted today on Sunday Morning Futures.
It would have been a huge propaganda victory for the Ayatollah in the middle of a conflict, as they're not only shooting at Americans, but they're shooting at global shipping. And we're doing everything we can to keep them internationally isolated. It's outrageous, and we shut it down.
So Mamdani, when addressing the controversy this week, said he didn't know about the meeting in advance. He also said it was the Iranian ambassador who requested the meeting and that his team is now working on new protocols.
Wait a minute. So the Iranian, you're saying, approached you. So at that point, you did know. If you knew that they approached you, then at that point, you should have told your entire staff, nobody take any meetings with these people. And by the way, I've got to call the White House. I've got to let them know that they're trying to contact us. He didn't do it. He didn't do any of that.
The commissioner recognizes that this was made an error, and we're working on a new process in terms of new meeting requests. Again, this was a request that came into the office, not one that originated from the office.
These people are masters at saying things that don't mean anything. It came to the office, but we didn't know about the office because we weren't in the office. Bottom line is, the woman in your office who you appointed, who you now want to give a raise to like $250,000, was trying to make nice with the Iranians. Let's just call it what it is. You got caught with your pants down, and now your lawyers are telling you you're in trouble, big trouble.
Okay, so the timing of the attempted meeting comes when President Trump has repeatedly said he is #1 on Iran's, quote, kill list.
Coincidence? Notice how the lady at Fox News here mentions the exact same thing President Trump did. It comes at the same time as President Trump has been telling everybody that he's the #1 target on the kill list. Okay, let's go over to, talk to the Iranians while Trump's, no, you can't do that. Oh my gosh. Could they have been more stupid?
And Israel recently shared intelligence with Trump about an Iranian plot to assassinate him, according to a Wall Street Journal report.
All right. Now, our boy Clandestine, we always talk about him. He had a beautiful one here. This here, again, when you see what I'm going to show you, you're going to shake your head and go, there's no way. Who's choreographing this movie? Spielberg couldn't write this. All right, so let's look at this. I think Mamdani might end up being the best thing that ever happened to us. Why? Because he is openly collaborating with our enemies in wartime. He is paving the way for Trump to declare the Democrats as unlawful enemy combatants. Can you imagine if the entirety of the Democrat Party would be declared an enemy combatant operation? All of them. All of them who are embracing the socialists, who are embracing the communists, who are saying basically through proxy, death to America. If you're laying down with these fleas, you're a dog infested. If you're not trying to push these people away, you are complicit. There's no other way around it. Oh, we got a big tent. You got a big tent full of traitors. And if you got a big tent full of traitors and you're not doing anything about it, you're complicit. He says the Dems are collaborating with our direct enemies in wartime, and that's not even mentioning aiding and abetting our enemies with their consistent stream of anti-American and pro-Iran MSM propaganda and disinformation. Also, the Democrats refuse to enforce U.S. law. Besides that, they won't defend our borders. They're allowing our enemies, insurgents, to walk across our border, in which the Dems harbor them in, quote, sanctuary cities. I always felt that calling something a sanctuary city was going to come back to haunt these people. You let all these people cross the border. You weren't paying attention to what you were doing. They were killing people in our country. They were stealing billions of dollars. What would you call it? You'd have to call it an insurgency. You'd have to call it that, which tells me they also know already who got these people hooked up to steal all this money. So you let people cross the border. You're saying basically death to America, death to Israel. You're wearing stuff. You're saying we need to collapse the entire country. We need to kill Trump. All of this going on, and everybody sits back and goes, oh, this is normal. Not normal. It says well over 99% of people have no idea just how severe our situation is. This is a zero-sum game between the American people and communist globalist insurgents seeking to overthrow this nation from within. And if anyone thinks Trump doesn't have the stones to do something about it, you are mistaken. The process, this is important, the process is already underway. What he should have said was the process has been underway for quite some time. Trump and the United States military have been setting the stage the entire time. Trump is going to save this nation, and he told us many times he's willing to use his full array of powers as the commander-in-chief to do it. So I want to show you a video that Clandestine put in his post, and it just made me go, oh, no, this is too much. So I want to take you back to when somebody was talking at a hearing about certain people being enemy combatants. And what do we do with enemy combatants? Can the president just take action on his own? Well, as soon as I click the button here, you're all going to go, oh, shit.
When somebody says post 9/11 that we've been at war and it's called the war on terrorism, do you generally agree with that concept?
Lindsey effing Graham. And this testimony right here that goes way back when Brett Kavanaugh was being, at his hearings, confirmation hearings, Lindsey Graham, the guy so many people hate, was setting this up. And I gotta believe Brett Kavanaugh is smart enough to realize, I know where you're going with this. So I'm going to answer these questions, and these idiots around us have no clue what you're doing. I think I know where you're headed, Lindsey.
I do, Senator, because Congress passed the authorization for use of military force, which is still in effect. And that was passed, of course, on September 14th, 2001, 3 days later.
Let's talk about the law in war. Is there a body of law called the law of armed conflict?
There is such a body, Senator.
Is there a body of law that's called basic criminal law?
Yes, Senator.
Are there differences between those two bodies of law?
Yes, Senator.
From an American citizen's point of view, do your constitutional rights follow you? If you're in Paris, does the Fourth Amendment protect you as an American from your own government?
From your own government, yes.
Okay. So, if you're in Afghanistan, do your constitutional rights protect you against your own government?
If you're an American in Afghanistan, you have constitutional rights as against the U.S. government.
Is there a long-standing...
That's long settled law.
Isn't there also a long-settled law that it goes back to the Eisentrager case? I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, Johnson versus Eisentrager.
Right.
That's when Brett knew. Lindsey was playing as Eisentrager or whatever, yeah, and he names the case. At that point, he was able to recall the exact case that Lindsey brought up. You're looking at a dead man coming back to life just as all this stuff is happening. Now, earlier I said I wasn't going to engage in the conspiracy theories, which I still am not, but you have to admit as you watch what happens next here, whoa. On the day he dies, this comes out and Trump's talking.
That American citizens who collaborate with the enemy have considered enemy combatants.
They can be. They can be. They're sometimes criminally prosecuted, sometimes treated in the military.
Well, let's talk about...
Oh, I'm sorry. Sometimes they're criminally prosecuted, and other times they're prosecuted by the military. Oh, okay. Please continue.
Can be. I think
under Supreme Court precedent.
Right. There's a Supreme Court decision that's...
and there's a Supreme Court decision already. You see the buttons being, we're closing this up. There's going to be nowhere for you to go. There's already Supreme Court precedent on enemy combatants. This couldn't be coming together better. None of us could write this script, especially when you realize now that this script was being written years ago. When everybody talks about the biggest conspiracy theory basically in politics right now, this is what they're talking about. We're not talking about how did Lindsey die. We're talking about something that 17th letter was giving people breadcrumbs all the way back. And now, front and center on the day this man dies, you're hearing him speak from the grave, and he's telling you what Trump has available.
Said that American citizens who collaborated with Nazi saboteurs were tried by the military. Is that correct?
That is correct.
I think a couple of them were executed.
Yeah.
Execution. Now you got my attention. Now you really have my attention. You should have their attention. all these people, death to America. We're going to tear down the entire country. We're going to do away with the Electoral College. We're going to tear up the Constitution. We're going to get rid of the press. Oh, okay. Okay. What would you call those people? What would you call those people who openly say, we're going to take all your country down? I think they would qualify as enemy combatants.
So if anybody doubts, there's a long-standing history in this country that your constitutional rights follow you wherever you go, but you don't have a constitutional right to turn on your own government and collaborate with the enemy of the nation.
You don't have a constitutional right to turn around and collaborate with an enemy to the nation. When I heard that, I literally had goosebumps, thinking, there's no way. How did this happen? How did we get to this point right now? Forget the Section 8 stuff. Every one of you have got to be thinking, this is insane. You're telling me at Kavanaugh's hearing, because here's the other thing. At Kavanaugh's hearing, everybody who watched it was looking at this and going, what the hell does this have to do with the hearing? What the hell does this have to do with him being confirmed as a judge? Why are you talking about enemy combatants? Why are you even bringing it up? If you watched it, you may have thought that the same thing I did. Like, what the hell does this have to do with anything? They were laying a foundation the entire time. There's no other reason to be bringing this up.
You'll be treated differently. What's the name of the case, if you can recall, that reaffirmed the concept that you could hold one of our own as an enemy combatant if they were engaged in terrorist activities in Afghanistan? Are you familiar with that case?
Yeah, Hamdi.
Okay.
Nobody on, excuse me, what are we talking about here? Why are we even talking about this, Lindsey? Justice Kavanaugh, you had keg parties and you were like groping girls back in high school. I got your calendar here. And you guys are talking about enemy combatants, and everyone's like, what the hell are you talking about? And here we are in 2026 on the day that this man dies, and how much, with everything going on, with what we're seeing, how appropriate is this conversation?
So the bottom line is, I want every American citizen to know you have constitutional rights, but you do not have a constitutional right to collaborate with the enemy. There's a body of law well developed long before 9/11 that understood the difference between basic criminal law and the law of armed conflict. Do you understand those differences?
I do understand.
So if this comes back in front of you, let's say, I don't know, in 10 years or so, a case comes before you and you got all this precedent, you're going to take your notes. You understand what we just talked about. You know the case, don't you? I know the case. Okay, so you're ready when we're ready to pull the pin. I didn't say it. Lindsey said it. So you're familiar with the case. I know it, yeah. Okay.
They're different bodies of law, of course, Senator.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I watched that. I watched it again with you guys. You guys watch it. You may have to rewind it. And at the same time as you're rewinding it, you filed all this information in the back of your head that Mamdani is out there working with, or tried to work with, the Iranians, and his people are out there, death to America. I wipe my butt with the flag. I don't care about America. We need to tear America down. Can you imagine the body of evidence that they're collecting at this point? All of the things that they've been saying for years. We got to take everything up. We got to destroy capitalism. All the stuff that they've been saying. We got to defund the police. We got to get rid of ICE. We got to let all these. And I'm thinking, now they've got all that. Maybe that's why they're complaining. Well, he might stop the election. Yeah, he might. He might just put your all asses in jail in Gitmo. We don't know how this thing is going to turn out, but I just find it eerie. On the day that man died, this surfaces today about enemy combatants. when we all saw it. We all knew what had happened. We watched the hearing, but we didn't file it away just to reach back and pull it. And today, it makes more sense than it did when they had that conversation. So go ahead. Keep telling death to America. Keep trying to go backdoor to Iran. Ignore the Logan Act. Tell everybody you want to destroy America. Tell everybody you want to take it down. Tell everybody you want to wipe the flag with wipe your butt with the flag. Tell everybody that. Please continue. No one's going to save you. You're going to incriminate yourselves. And they're going to come up with free speech and everything else, but it's going to be kind of hard when the commander-in-chief who says, hey, they're all trying to kill me, you know. Did you guys find that funny? Did you find it weird that the President of the United States would reiterate a few times, even on foreign soil, they're trying to kill me? So if they're trying to kill him, then even talking to these people would make you an enemy combatant. And in any event, you're going to have to deal with the people at Gitmo in a military tribunal. This isn't even for a judge. If and when, we got to say if because we don't know what's going to happen, but if and when this happens, Katie bar the door. No one is ready for what may happen. Mark Elias, all these people, Norm Eisen, who keep running the courts, these judges who have shown themselves to be enemies of America, I hope they got a whole lot of beds in Guantanamo, because this is going to be amazing. And to think about they don't have weapons. They don't, oh my goodness, this would be amazing. Stay tuned, same bat channel, same bat time, because we don't know what's coming next. This could be. Can you? Is it just me, or did you feel spidey senses as you're watching a dead man talk about enemy combatants? And like,
I mean, I haven't really been a fan of him for the whole time too.
Yeah.
But I'm learning a lot about him because I have discernment and I do research. Unlike other folks who don't even get me started. I've removed a few people for some really dumb shit. I have two stories that I'm going to share with you. The first one is 5 minutes ago, Pete Hegseth dropped a message for Lindsey Graham. It's on the very bottom. And then I have a clandestine, which I have to read. That one is pretty powerful.
Wow. So he came out with something else. All right. Here's the Pete Hegseth.
So Secretary of War Pete Hegseth drops his message for Lindsey Graham. Job well done, Colonel. We have the watch from here. An unapologetic champion for our military, our veterans, and our country. A patriot to his core, he led from the front in uniform and in the Senate. Honored to have known him for 2 decades. And
Wow.
A couple pictures. And there's a 48-second clip. I don't know if you want to play it.
Yeah, I think that's the same one I played earlier. I just looked. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the
okay.
That's the same one. Wow.
Right.
That's very interesting. I was looking at this
Coming from
picture.
somebody in the military.
I was looking at this picture, and it's Lindsey's over to the right, Joe Lieberman from Connecticut. There's Pete, and then on the left side it's Lindsey in uniform, and I don't know who the other two gentlemen are.
I don't know either. I'm trying to read the name on the uniform. Can't see.
Yeah, so that's very interesting.
Oh no, Barry! I zoomed in on the picture. That's Hegseth on the left of. That's Pete.
Oh, wait a second.
It says Hegseth on the uniform.
With the sunglasses?
Yeah, with the sunglasses. Yeah,
oh, my.
It says Hegseth.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure that's what it says.
Yeah, now that I look at the smile, yeah, that very well could be him. Exactly. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool. All right, let me look at the next one you got here.
All right, so this is for, some of the people that say nothing's happening. Things are happening. There's so much going on different levels. And I love how clandestine can discern and put it all together. So he goes 4 days ago.
Give me a second. I'm going to download
It's
this.
a 3-minute video. You're gonna play it. I haven't looked at it, so I don't know what it entails. Okay.
Yeah, it's about election, so I doubt it. I doubt it's
Okay.
going to be nasty or anything, but it might.
All
It still
right.
might
Well, you never
might tick
street
off
harpies in there.
Hold on, let's get it. Let's roll with it. All right.
From the FBI reveals just how much manpower the agency is calling on to investigate the 2020 election in Fulton County. Hundreds of agents have been assigned to the case with a mysterious July 17th deadline.
Yeah, July 17th. So Atlanta News First political reporter Doug Reardon is live for us outside the county government center in downtown Atlanta. July 17th. Doug, what happens then?
Did you notice he said that 3 times? She said it, he said it, then they said it again. The 17th.
Well, that's the mystery, guys. The memo doesn't explicitly say, but it does say that over 260 FBI personnel will be coming here to Fulton County to review hundreds and hundreds of documents tied to that January seizure of ballots from the 2020 election. It is by far the clearest picture of the scope of this investigation that we have gotten to date. The leaked internal FBI memo shows the agency is dedicating 260 agents to combing through documents seized back in January in a surprise raid of Fulton County's elections headquarters. The memo notes the FBI personnel will be poring over 700 documents with the July 17th deadline.
We don't really know what the July 17th deadline is about. It seems arbitrary, but because they put it out there, it feels like they...
It seems arbitrary.
It's arbitrary.
Sure thing, boy.
We don't know anything about it. They just picked this day, July 17th.
Yeah.
717, huh? I have no idea.
We'll have to come out with something on the 18th.
Fulton County Commissioner Dana Barrett, a Democrat, says the county should be prepared for anything, whether it be the FBI's potential findings or the announcement of criminal charges.
There's a lot to still be concerned about. We can't let our guard down.
On a recent episode of On the Record, Fulton County Election Supervisor Nadine Williams declined to comment on the FBI's communication with her department over the case. Have you been communicated with at all about that?
Well, that's pending litigation, so I'm not able to comment on that.
The county did see a legal win this week. On Tuesday, a Trump-appointed judge threw out...
She going to jail.
I can't comment on that. I can comment on the SNAP benefits.
You're going to jail on the 17th.
Yeah.
The Department of Justice subpoena seeking the personal information, names, phone numbers, even addresses for all of Fulton County's 2020 poll workers. To Commissioner Barrett, it says a lot.
That they don't have free reign and free access to any data they want as it relates to elections. So I think this is a really good, maybe even a watershed moment in terms of changing where we go in this elections fight.
Some election groups that...
So understand, the word she uses data. So if she's saying that, if we don't have to give them the data, you're assuming they already don't have it. And our president has been saying all along, we have everything. So
still have concerns about the 2020 election. We're frustrated with the ruling, though. Garland Favorito, president of Voter GA, told us, quote, "It is obvious to most informed Georgians that Fulton County has been involved in an ongoing conspiracy. Given the potential criminal activity involved, the court's ruling currently stands as a threat to the rights of every Georgia voter, and we expect the DOJ to appeal it." And we know this is of the utmost importance to the FBI. In that internal memo, they called this case a priority investigation. We will just have to wait and see what happens come July 17th.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait and see. You're completely...
If there's nothing illegal going on, why are they fighting for it? Why we have judges trying to block everything? Come on, man.
So what did our boy clandestine say here?
All right, so I'll read this, give you a minute or two to rest. 4 days ago, a leaked FBI internal memo revealed they are sending 260 plus agents to Fulton County in response to the raid in January pertaining to fraud in the 2020 election. The memo states a July 17th deadline, so we are expecting some sort of movement by then, and Democrat officials are preparing for all outcomes to include criminal charges. In the internal memo, the FBI called this a priority investigation, and given the presence of DNI Gabbard in the first raid, it is believed that this case is related to the grand conspiracy probe as well. Trump has been quietly setting the stage to tell the world the truth about fraud in the 2020 election. We are getting close. If there is to be a meaningful impact before the midterms, it has to happen soon. For all the people who say nothing is happening, you continue to be wrong, 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 wrong.
Now, in addition to that, as we close here, I want to show you something. I didn't see it. I guess you didn't see it. President Trump posted something, and I can't show the video because it's someone else's video, but it's very interesting that he posted this. He posted this 2 hours ago, and I had to look at it to see what it was. And here it is. And it's a YouTube video, which you guys can go to True Social or anything. But what's interesting is what the title of it is. Democrat socialism must be criminalized and leaders deported. So the president of the United States posted a video with no comment, just a link to the YouTube video. And it says Democrat socialism must be criminalized and leaders deported.
I just posted it in both chats if anybody's interested.
Yeah, it's a video by longtime radio host Michael Savage. And he talks about Pol Pot and some of the communists and how they resemble what's going on with Mamdani right now. And he, I mean, as you watch the video, it's a 45-minute video. As you watch the video, the thing that you have to keep in your head is the president of the United States posted it. That is the biggest underscore right there, because Michael is very bombastic when he talks, and he comes at you, and the stuff that he says in that video, because I watched it, and you're realizing the president basically gave him a pat on the back and said, "Hey, everybody needs to see this." So I would encourage everybody to take a look at that, because he wants us to. Yeah. I mean, you don't post that, and it was just really weird. When I saw it, I'm like, what could this be? I don't recognize the picture or anything. And then I saw the title, and I'm like, Democratic socialism must be criminalized and the leaders deported. And I went, oh man, oh wow. The breadcrumbs couldn't be more fresh at this point.
Can you show what I just sent you? This is a good one. He posted this 5 hours ago. It's something to end the show with a little humor. Oh boy.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
There you go, folks. You know I love humor.
Oh boy, that's too great. Oh man, yeah.
All right.
He's trying. All right, thank you, SB. Thank you. And
all right, have a super night, Barry.
And we'll work on the other stuff. I got to see if I can recover that other file, and we'll be good to go.
Let me know.
All right,
I'll get it worked out. And busy day tomorrow. Busy day.
Wow. Yeah, busy day. All right, let me do super chats, and then we can all go our way, and I can go have some dinner. And hold on one second. Let me go ahead and put this in the right order. Boy, that Lindsey Graham stuff just really, I was being quiet at the beginning of the show because I didn't want you guys to see where I was going with it, but now you got some homework, because many of you probably didn't remember that. All right, so where are we? Right here, Pekovsky, putting my foil hat on, not sure how he passed so quickly. Okay, let's find out. Chiosop, I'm surprised PS Now and CNN hadn't composed a panel of miserable Democrats to badmouth Lindsey Graham, crap on him, and blame him for everything yet. Oh, it's coming. If it hasn't happened already, it's because they probably didn't have a full crew on a Sunday. Otherwise, they probably would have. Where has Hillary been the last few days? Suspicious. Alec, how long before Candace Owens blames Israel? It was the Jews. The Jews did it. Ed Sloan, hey Barry, is your grandson going to be center like you? Hopefully you're very proud. I am extremely proud. And he's actually a defensive end edge rusher. 6'4", 245, right now 250 at 17 years old. And he pulled that 600-pound deadlift Friday. Strong and fast. I told him he's got to study Nick Bosa. Just go ahead and keep studying everything Nick Bosa does. Chiosop, a couple times that in New York, if the tenant is a drug-slinging, gun-toting person and it is proven the landlord knew and did evict them, then the landlord can be liable as well. Yep, and thank you. And no one can force you to rent or not to anyone. Landlords in New York City are not renting rent-controlled units now because it's cheaper to be vacant. Mamdani. Mira, do you still get to choose who lives in your home with Section 8? Absolutely. There's nothing different. They have to come. They have to apply. Just to let you know, they have to apply just like anybody else. And what I used to do, and I would encourage it, is when you get them to apply, show up where they're living now unannounced. So you're just like, okay, you're at 123 Elm Street. Okay, I'll get back to you in a couple of days. And then the next day, just go to where she's living or he's living and see how they're treating somebody else's property. I would tell you that's been the best advice I ever had and best advice I can give, because if you show up and there's all kinds of people there and cars up on the lawn and everything, I pass. So that's a free tip. Linnell bragging, is this 52-year-old woman hitting 50-pound dumbbells on the incline bench today on a set for 6? I'm bragging. If you're 52-year-old and you're hitting 50-pound dumbbells on the incline bench, I'm gonna just go like that. Congrats. Tania, rest in peace, Lindsey Graham. Health is important, indeed. Marcus, pray to God for courage. This is new America. Absolutely. Mountain Goddess, I hear complaints from homeowners that sell because of unsavory people moving in next to them. Changes in the neighborhood, all of a sudden break-ins occur. You start seeing people just hanging out because they don't work. Well, the problem was with the person selling. Somebody cashed out to those people. If you live in a neighborhood, you may want to get with other people and say, if you have to move, can you let us know? Maybe I know someone who'll buy the property. Mira, Barry, is it difficult to evict in Florida if necessary? Nope. I think now it's about 30 days, but they can, if they do certain things, maybe they can stretch to 60. But it's not a long time, and you build that in with the security deposit and everything. Linnell, DSA should now mean you're in deep poop, a-holes. Absolutely. Ashley Patriot, thank you. Thanks for your dedication, Barry. I can't stand Mamdani. I really feel that he's dangerous and should be monitored constantly. I bet he is. Tinley, at some point, Lindsey Graham has become as much a danger to deep state as Charlie Kirk. He helped with the One Big Beautiful Bill, and with Iran, he sacrificed for the United States. I agree. Cheers up again. Plenty of honey buns and moon pies in federal commissary. What do we got? Tinley. Hold on, let me move this down. Tinley from Grok. 717 is the angel number, seen as a positive sign from a higher power. Encourage that you're on right path. Believe your mind. Keep moving forward. Wow, I never knew that. And Neo, Barry, thanks for a very interesting show. Thanks to you and team. I see it FAFO time. God bless and protect Trump and America. Absolutely. All right. So I'm not sure. Like I said, President Trump's schedule comes out at 10 o'clock, 10:30. So we'll see what's going on tomorrow. Thanks, guys.
you.